Let's be honest, it is great when we can drive to our cruise port, but most of the time, that is not the case and we've got to fly. And flying can be so hectic and crazy these days. Are you guys noticing this, or is it just me? Whether you're packing for a flight to a cruise or flying in general, these 15 items will make your flight and airport time so much more comfortable, I promise. And some of them will even save you money. In fact, I never fly without these 15 things. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Sherry with CruiseTipsTV. It is wonderful to meet you. We would invite you to subscribe to our channel for loads and loads of travel tips, cruise tips, destination tips. We're so happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, for those of you who are kind of flight connoisseurs, you fly all the time and you are just like super seasoned in the air, I want to hear from you on this video. I want to know what must-have flight essentials that you pack down in the comments of this video. Also, before we get into the list, everything will be linked in the description of this video in a handy Amazon store. Literally everything I show, everything I mention can be purchased on Amazon just for you. All right, so let's get into the list of 15 flight essentials that I absolutely never leave home without. I'll never fly without. Number one is a high quality under seat bag. That's really where it all starts, right? You need that nice, good size personal item that you can slide under the seat in front of you. Now, some of you may go carry on only like us. Some of you might check your bags, but either way, some kind of a high quality under seat bag is a great place to start. Now, what I look for is something that's not going to be super heavy and hurt my shoulders when I'm walking through the airport, especially if I can't place it over my rolling suitcase, right? But I also look for something that has a nice water bottle holder in it and lots of little pockets to put miscellaneous things in, like my passport and stuff like that. Okay, the next essential item that I always pack is some kind of a small purse or a fanny pack. Now, this next tip is really critical if you're flying these days. You really can only have your rolling suitcase, right? If you're going carry-on only, and a personal item. You can't have those two items and a purse. It's one or the other. So I always focus on buying a fanny pack or a small crossbody that's small enough to wear through the airport, access things like my passports and my boarding passes, but then to be able to put it into my larger personal item once it's time to get on that flight. So hopefully that tip is helpful for you. The number 3 item that I always pack on a flight is lip balm. It gets really dry up there in the air, doesn't it? And your lips can really suffer. So find a nice high quality lip balm. We've linked to tons of different varieties from budget to a little bit more splurgy in our Amazon store. And I think it's an absolute must, no matter who you are, to travel with lip balm. In 2023, something that I also will absolutely never leave home without, I'll never fly without, and I'm seeing this all over the internet right now, is snacks, right? I would never embark on a flight that was more than 20 minutes long without a small arsenal of some kind of snacks. Now, everybody has their favorites, but some of my favorite things to fly with are like pistachios, beef jerky is great. I love like energy bars. Kind bars are really, really yummy and good for the whole family. So I always travel with some snacks and a plethora of them, because these days you're lucky if you get a drink and some pretzels on your flight. So make sure you pack those snacks. The next thing that I always travel with is a TSA approved toiletry bag. One of those clear bags that is TSA approved. Now, this is for flying within the US. This may not work if you're going outside of the US. In fact, I was recently flying to Canada and they actually gave me their own clear bags to put my toiletries in. They were really nice about it, but they were like, hey, these USA TSA bags don't work. But for us, flying in the United States, a nice clear TSA bag is going to give you a little bit more real estate for your toiletries, and it makes it really easy to pull it out and put it into the security bins, right? When you go through TSA pre-check or the regular security line, you want to be able to take those out and put them in that little bin. It's just so much more easy, and you can see through them, so your bag stays nice and organized. We also pack charging cables every time we fly these days. Most airplanes have a place where you can kind of plug in, right? You can plug in your phone, give it a little charger, give it a little charge in the air if your phone is kind of running down, or your Kindle or whatever. But sometimes it's easy to forget the cable, right? You might take some kind of a charging base, but forget the cable, so don't forget your cables. Now, in case your airplane does not have one of those self-serve AC outlets or USB chargers, I always recommend taking some sort of an auxiliary charger. I really love charging bricks. We also have an awesome one in our Amazon store that has the cables built right into it. I also love the iWalk charger that plugs right into the bottom of your phone. There's some really great auxiliary chargers out there that are super nice. Little story for you, I promise I'll keep this brief, but recently my husband and son were flying alone without me. Their flight got diverted. They went to go land in their destination, and the plane literally just like picked right back up again, and they couldn't land due to fog. They had 0 chargers with them, and we vowed as a family, we're like, okay, never again will we let anyone go anywhere by themselves without a charger. Their phones made it through the night miraculously, but make sure you take some sort of an auxiliary charger with you, a charging brick. Something that doesn't require a cable is always really nice, like a magnetic charger is good, or like the iWalk that plugs in. That's also really great. While you're on the airplane itself, there's this sort of new in the last few years trend of getting a universal phone mount for your device. Because a lot of times these days, the airlines are no longer offering like in-seat movies. So if you want to entertain yourself, download your Netflix, your Amazon Prime movies, whatever it is, even downloading maybe your books on your phone, it's nice to have something to put your phone in on the back of the seat in front of you. So these universal phone mounts are just really cool. They come in a variety of colors, and most of them have a 360-degree swivel that allows you to rotate your phone. So maybe if you're sharing a movie with the person next to you, you can kind of rotate it a little bit diagonally to share the screen with them. Or if there's like a reflection, sometimes there's a reflection coming in off of the window shade, you can move it around a little bit. They also work as a phone stand, most of them. So if you don't want to hook it up to the seat in front of you, you can probably put it on your tray table and just kind of rest it there and use it as a stand. All right, this next item is something I pack, I'd say 90% of the time, maybe not 100% of the time. It's kind of a little bit of a comfort item, and this is what I take on longer flights, and that is fluffy socks. I know it's kind of silly, and usually I'm wearing closed-toed shoes with socks on a flight, but if it's a longer flight and I just want to be cozy for a while and I don't think I'm going to get up and go to the restroom or anything, I'm probably going to take advantage of having some nice fluffy socks to just put on my feet and feel a little bit more cozy. It's a luxury item, but it's an item I love. Now, this next item, I probably should have mentioned this as like my number one thing that I pack, because I literally never ever fly without Clorox wipes and a glove to clean up the area around me. I know this sounds a little bit fussy, but if you talk to any airline employee, they're going to tell you that tray table in front of you, those armrests, everything around you is pretty much filthy on an airplane. So the first thing I do is pop on a rubber glove and I Clorox wipe down my whole family's area. Another thing I always take are hand sanitizing wipes. Now, in theory, you could leave the Clorox wipes at home and get a really nice high alcohol content hand sanitizing wipe and just use it for the same thing. You don't really have to pack both, but usually I do. Just make sure that with the Clorox wipes, I would recommend using a glove because it can be kind of harsh on your hands and you're probably not going to be able to run to the restroom to rinse your hands off, so be careful with that. But hand sanitizing wipes, I have 2 favorite brands. I like Hands individually wrapped alcohol-based hand wipes, and I love Honest wipes. The Honest wipes are great because they come in a bigger package. They're not individually wrapped, but the thing that these 2 products have in common is that they are both a very high alcohol content. They're not sticky, they're not gooey, they're not going to get all over the place and make your hands feel gross. They just make everything feel really super clean. And we also use them on the cruise ship as well. Next up, absolute essential when you're traveling through an airport is some sort of an empty water bottle, whether it's a collapsible water bottle, a plastic water bottle. Personally, I like a very small little 10-ounce Yeti that we've linked to in our store. The Yeti keeps hot items hot and cold items cold. And guess what? This little guy does not take up that much space in my carry-on bag. You can get a larger bottle, but I like just a small bottle because I can buy extra water wherever it is that I might be going. All right. Now, another thing that I never travel without is a cozy wrap or a shawl. Now, airplanes can get super cold. They can also get super hot. You never really know what you're going to get on an airplane, right? I've been sitting on the tarmac in Dallas where it was like 85 in the airplane, and 10 minutes later after takeoff, it was probably 62 degrees on that flight. So having a nice wrap or shawl that you can put around you to kind of keep you cozy is really essential. It also can double as like a neck pillow. If you don't pack a travel pillow with you, you can wrap the shawl around your neck and kind of cozy up with it. You can keep a child warm. There's lots of different things that you can do with a shawl or a wrap. Now, my husband and son, they're not going to use a shawl or a wrap. So for them, the one item that we always pack for them is a hoodie. A lightweight hoodie, something that can keep their neck a little bit warm. It doesn't take up a lot of space in that personal item bag. Now, before we wrap up our list, I do have one bonus tip for you. If you are going on a flight over 6 hours, I do recommend 2 more things. I recommend that you take a neck pillow to sleep with, something really ultra cozy that can allow you to take a little rest, and potentially a sleep mask to put over your eyes, something to block out the light if you want to try to take a little rest and maybe acclimate to the place that you are going to be flying to. All right, what did you think about this list? Is anybody flying soon? Where are you flying? Are you flying to a cruise? Are you flying abroad? Are you going on a short flight? And what did we forget? What do you always fly with? Now, that list I mentioned to you, everything is going to be linked in the description, but because it's sometimes hard for people to find those links in the description, I also pin them to the top of the comments section for easy shopping. Happy cruising, happy flying, friends, and until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye-bye.